Hello and welcome to tonight's LOL Esports Roundup. We're going to recap the games from the LCS last night. That would be Thursday night, Week 5, Day 2, as well as go over the LPL and LCK games from this morning, preview the LPL, LCK, and LEC games for Saturday. Predictions, I'm 199 and 94. Last few days have been pretty bad for me prediction-wise. I know I have to update the Discord one when I have time. I will do that. LCS games. So first, we're going to speed run this, kind of like yesterday. Immortals, Golden Guardians. Golden Guardians win. Gory, 836, 29% of damage on Azir. Licorice, 302 in top lane on Jax. Balulu, 326, 34% of damage on Ziggs. This was a close game. Immortals actually jumping out to an early lead, if I recall. And then Golden Guardians would respond. Stixay did very well in team fights. Gory doing well in the mid to late game, which is what got him MVP, really taking over and allowing Immortals to roll. It ended up being a final team fight in top lane that did decide it, though. It was close and went down to the wire. River and Maokai did find opportunities to utilize his ulti properly. I felt like he and Kenvi went back and forth executing pretty solid games. This is probably one of Kenvi's better games he's played, in my opinion, which isn't saying a lot because most of his games are pretty bad, but still. FlyQuest EG, FlyQuest win. Spica was my MVP on a rel. Vikla, 12-3-10, 30% of damage. He missed only one game. Prince, 13-1-9, so the import duo against EG, which is no slouch, 25-4 and 29 in this one. Armeo led the way for EG, 1-6-6, 30% of damage on a Maokai. Pretty crazy that he led the team in damage with 6 deaths on a Maokai, and when Unforgiven had a quadra kill defending their base in the very late game when FlyQuest seemed to be about to end. Actually, a pretty big surprise, to be quite honest with you, that ended up being the case in the end. Impact played Rumble solidly. However, Spica was the difference. I thought that he was key in some ganks into bot lane. He blew some key sums in the early game that allowed Vikla to get ahead of Jojo Pune, and really executed well on a champion that is facilitator-based. Frankly, Prince and Vulcan did get the better of Unforgiven and Isla in this one straight up as well. It was a bit of a diffie on the bot side of the rift. We'll give the credit to Spica for jump-starting that. Cloud9, 100 Thieves, Cloud9 win. Eminez, 608, 39% of damage. Fudge was MVP, 516 on Rumble. Someday, 241, 31% of damage in the loss on a Kennen. Fudge did lay down quite a bit of damage in the very late game that really sealed the deal for Cloud9. They're up almost several thousand gold because Eminez did so well in mid. We do have to give him his credit. I thought he played well. 39% of damage is no small feat, so maybe you could argue he deserved MVP credit. As far as everybody on Cloud9, I thought performed well. After a couple sus games out of the bot lane, bot lane looked pretty good, which is a good sign because they need to improve. Improve quickly. There was one moment where 100 Thieves did fight back, if I recall, trying to protect their base, so Cloud9 did not cleanly end this one, but a win's a win, and they can move on and get those losses and the bad taste out of their mouths. TSM, TL. TSM would win. This was a monster throw by TL. Insanity, 12-5, 42% of damage on Kesa mid. First, he plays Graves mid all weekend long and does well. Then he gets benched, Ruby plays, and now he comes back, he plays Kesa mid and does well. I'm surprised. Insanity is one of the bigger surprises in all 4 major regions to me so far, this split. Chime, 2-1-17 on Rakan. Summit, 7-5-3, 35% of damage on LeBlanc. Top lane, he would solo kill Haunter at one point in this one and actually open up TL with a big lead. His side push was really good. He was able to take, I think, even an inhib turret. But team fight started going TSM's way in the mid game. Boogie finding opportunities on the Nocturne once again. Insanity on the Kesa. Wild Turtle, I believe, was on an Ashe again. In that Kesa Ashe combo has worked for TSM in a couple games in a row now. it was a surprise to me. That's why I got so many predictions wrong. I mean, some games were really surprising, like TL throwing. I mean, Summit playing LeBlanc top is definitely not something I had on my bingo card. He started like 4-2 and would end 3-3, so the very late game was pretty bad for him. Dignitas NRG. Dignitas, a big throw in this one. They were up like 4K gold at 13 minutes. FBI 11-3-13 was MVP, 38% damage on K-Saw. Dokla 4-1-15 on Renekton. Jensen 4-4-3, 32% of damage on Azir. Early game went all Dig's way. The bot lane got ahead. Jensen made things happen, and it looked like Dignitas were about to go 7-7 instead of NRG. But Contracts would find opportunities. Dokla would find opportunities to create. Palafox actually on the Yone arguably could have gotten MVP credit for this one. I thought that he had some key double kills in their comeback. But in the end, FBI was laying down the damage behind the scenes there, and then he would get a solid amount of kills, to say the very least, by the end of the game. So I gave it to him because he probably deserved it, to be honest with you. Like I said yesterday, I wish that they would give us our team fight stats, team fight damage output earlier on in the game when the game is close and not a blowout already. I don't care what a team fight damage output chart looks like when there's a 10k gold diff. I really don't care. LPL, LGD, Ultra Prime, 2-1. Neither team had anything to play for. Ning was MVP. Doggo 18-11-17, 27% of damage. Sword Art 3-11-40. So the bot lane went 21, 22, and 57. Hai Chao 17-7 and 14, 32% of damage in the loss. Dream looked good at times in this one. Top lane went back and forth between Harry and Fearness. However, it was Ning that made the difference in game 2 because LGD won game 1 and frankly had an easy chance. I mean, had a really good chance to win game 2, but Ning on Maokai had a great 1 or 2v4. He was part of a duo against 4, protecting the Nexus, and in doing so, allowed their team to come back, take a Baron, and win the game in game 2, and that was the difference. I thought that was really, really close. Game 3, LGD were very competitive once more. Sword Art on the Nautilus looked very good in the game that he played it. Which honestly made me consider making him MVP. I thought that was a very, very good performance. But in the end, there's nothing to play for there for either team. LPL is now just for funning it, pretty much, and seeding purposes. Anyone's Legend, Top Esports win 2-0. Jackie Love 14-8-21, 33% of damage. Rookie was MVP 11-2-16. ZDZ 9-5-8, 33% damage in the loss. He came through on Renekton in a key team fight for a triple kill, which boosted his stats. ZDZ once again showing that he's the best player on Anyone's Legend. ZQE had a monster lead in game 1 and threw it away. Anyone's Legend were very good in this series, honestly, in the early game, getting out to leads against Top twice. Which the opposite side of the coin is, Top looked very bad in this one. They cannot play this way going into playoffs if they expect to go to Worlds. It is unacceptable to play at this level. They need to step it up. You look at the stat line, you say, well, Jackie Love and Rookie did good. Yeah, that was after they'd gotten behind, though. And if you get behind against, I don't know, Weibo, for example, is Top Esports, you very well are going to lose that game. You can't allow a team like Anyone's Legend to be getting leads against you. It's not acceptable. Wayward, I thought, really took a step back in this one after a couple good series in a row. Tien struggled, and in my opinion, pretty big. It was the carries of Top that ended up bringing them back. Rookie with some key TPs on Jason Azir to turn some team fights, which is what got him MVP for me. Weibo RNG, Weibo win 2-1. Zhao Hu was my MVP. Light 16-11, 31% of damage. The Shy did not int, going 5-11, which is why they won. Tangwan 7-6-15, 31% of damage in the loss. I thought game 3 Zhao Hu was the difference. Very, very good performance. Facilitated, did what he had to do, and was the difference maker as Tangwan kind of took a step back in game 3. Weibo dominated RNG in their other win, like absolutely smoked them. And then the script was flipped for the next game, RNG dominating Weibo. So really, I think they mentioned it on the broadcast, it's a real good picture of the inconsistency of both of these teams. And it's true. As Weibo now finished the split at 9-7, that is not a shock. because this team can beat JDG like it did, and then also lose to teams it shouldn't lose to. So that's why I don't think it gets out of groups at Worlds, like this whole like groups Worlds thing. That team's a possible team to not get out of play-ins, just the way that they play, how they int against teams they shouldn't. They disrespect all the minor region teams, lose a couple games. You have a situation, which LPL team really struggled a couple years ago in play-ins? Was it LNG, LGD? One of them? LCK, T1 Nongshim, T1 win 2-0. Zeus finally showing up since Faker left. Going 8-3, 16, 27% of damage for MVP. Guma, 13-1-14. Jiwoo, 7-8-4, 37% of damage for Nongshim. Really the only guy that showed up. The top side of the Rift was a monster diffy, as Din Din Sylvie combined for 22 deaths between themselves. Din Din played Trundle top in game 2. That was not very good. Zeus just smoking him up there. Owner out. Just this whole, like, I really hope that the same folks that, had an issue with Owner being beaten up by Sylvie the last time they played, they hope they also felt the same way today, vice versa. Because T1 just beat the crap out of him. Poby looked good on the Azir at times. I'd pick Nongshim to win this. I thought that they would win this series, honestly, with the way they'd been playing, and it didn't happen. So, Zeus finally showed up. DRX, Genji win 2-0. Doran MVP, 7-1, 16, 27% of damage. Peanut, 8-1, 13. Fate, 3-5-2, 28% of damage in the loss. DRX played Juhan game 1, Krakow game 2. So, Genji decided we're going top lane and we're going to put Rascal in a hole and let Doran carry. And Doran did carry, which is a good look that Genji now are offering. It's becoming more and more clear over the last couple weeks that is their intentions. Hey, let's let Doran carry instead of Chovy, and Chovy takes the back seat, which is offering a different look to Chovy as well. And I think this is important for Genji's sake, that now they can go to Worlds, go into playoffs in the LCK, and have different looks to offer and flex champions around and just make themselves unpredictable, because being unpredictable is the edge that not many other teams have. Pays looked very good in this one. Paddock and Lane was okay at times, but in team fights, Pays gapped him. So, the rookie is just kind of trying his best. Sneak peek for tomorrow: LPL, Team We, FPX, Team We 7-7, 12th in the power rankings, FPX 5-10. Team We coming off of a loss to JDG, FPX a win against NIP. Last time they played Team We 1-1. Shanks and Hope went 30, 15, and 26 in the win, 1,285 DPM. That was 54% of Wee's damage. Karen LWX went 23, 10, and 30 for 937 DPM, so 350 less, but a respectable KDA. 48% of damage, so slightly less of the damage out of the two carry roles. So top lane a little, but maybe top lane was closer between Bubu and Jalahu than these roles were. NIP, LNG, NIP 7-8, coming off of a lost FPX. LNG 5th in the power rank is 11-4, coming off the win against Thunder Talk. When they played in spring, NIP actually won 2-1. Invincible and Zhuo went 9, 15, and 75 for 945 DPM. That was 28% of damage. Zika and Hung went 8, 32, and 40. Hung died 22 times in this series. 630 DPM, so, 50% less than Nip's duo, 27% of damage. So the top lane was a difference in terms of damage output that swayed this game a bit. Lastly, Ultra Prime IG, neither team has anything to play for. Both are 5-10. Ultra Prime coming off of a win against LGD, as we saw. IG coming off of an upset win against Weibo. At the end of the split, they've upset JDG and Weibo. Last time they played, IG won 2-0. YSKM and On went 24, 5, and 18. 1,321 DPM. That was 62% of damage. Harry and Doggo went 4, 16, and 10 for 849 DPM, so roughly 500 DPM less for 49% of damage. So a lot less DPM, but a lot less share. So mid lane was much closer the last time they played. That matchup is brand new, though. Last time it was Ching and Dove. Now it is it's going to be Dream and Cryan. LCK preview. Sandbox, KDF. Sandbox 2-9 coming off of a loss to D+. KDF 4-7 coming off of a loss to Bro. Last time they played, KDF won 2-0. Taeyun went 14-8-14, 28% of damage in the win. Teddy 12-8-9, 25% of damage in the loss. Afterwards, HLE and Bro. HLE 10th in the power ranking, 6-5, coming off of a win against KT. Bro 3-8, coming off of a win against KDF. Sorry, HLE lost to KT. HLE beat Bro 2-0 earlier in the split. Kingen, Viper, and Life went 15-8-41 for 1,244 DPM. That's 60% of damage. Morgan, Henna, and Effort went 12, 14, and 22 for 1,016 DPM, so about 130 less, and 59% of damage. So a slight diffy there in damage. It kind of goes to show you how close the series was between HLE and Bro. And then LEC group starts tomorrow. First, we have XL and Mad Lions. Mad Lions 4-5, XL 5-4, and 23rd in my power rankings. Last time they played, XL won. Patrick went 11-3-4 for 34% of damage on a Draven. Carzy 5-4-5, 45% of damage on a Jinx in the loss. SK Fnatic, SK 4-5, Fnatic 16th in the power ranking 7-2. Last time they played, ended the split. Irrelevant went 4-4-3 on Jax for 35% of damage. Oscarinin 0-3-2, 18% of damage on a K-Sante, I believe. So that's it for the roundup. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.